Singer and actor, indeed, Tommy Fleming from Clare, County Sligo, has enjoyed great success in a career spanning 25 years, over 25 years in fact. Tommy is one of Ireland's most hard-working artists in terms of recording, touring and creative output. And I've been pleased to speak to him on many occasions before. Now, Tommy joins me now to share how he's doing in these troubled times. Tommy, great to have you along.
How you doing, Jerry? How's it going? We're doing well. We're in lockdowns. It's almost 2 months now of lockdown for us. We're getting used to it. It's becoming a way of life at this point. But yeah, we're doing good, and hopefully the ends will justify the means.
Indeed. And it's incredible that 2 years ago, 2 years have gone by since we spoke on the show when you were also in lockdown. Then it was as a result of heavy snowfall in Ireland. It meant
right.
It meant rearranging some concert dates. Now, you took it all in your stride that time. However, the pandemic is something else, isn't it?
It is, and I mean, I said the other day, thank God my mum and dad aren't around for this, because they'd be terrified of it. They would be so scared, and I'm sure there's an awful lot of people very, very, very frightened at the moment. But we just have to do our best, and we have to adhere to the guidelines, and it's not just for our safety, but for everybody else's. That's where we are at this point, and. We're getting, luckily, we've kind of really got ahead of it, thank God, in Ireland, and our numbers aren't as they said, we've flattened the curve, and our health system hasn't been overwhelmed in any way, thank God. But we just have to keep going until this, and I don't think normalcy will return until there's a vaccine. To be honest with you.
Indeed. Now, we've increased our output here to broadcast live radio daily and take dedications, community information, etc. Now, people appreciate being able to stay connected. You're also proactive. I believe you've taken the initiative in a similar way with your A Song a Day. Tell us about
that. It was, Tina and I were doing a clear out in the office, and I found a load of backing tracks for TV and stuff that we had used over the years. So I sang a song one day in the Jeep with a backing track, and it just caught on very strangely. So we christened it Tommy's Jeep Tunes, and I do one a day just to check in. And I don't think I've ever been that active on social media, because I know normally I take a few months of the year off, and I just check in every now and again to basically say I'm still here, But people seem to appreciate it, so I started something that I can't stop.
Right.
So when I'm going for my run in the morning, I do a song in the Jeep every day, and then just post it on Facebook and Instagram. So it's just keeping out there, and hopefully it helps people, and it keeps me sane. That's for sure.
Indeed. It's a great idea. Of course, you're known for your versatility. This is a chance for people to tap into that. You're a fine exponent, I think we could say, of every musical genre. I imagine when you've no shortage of material at this stage to draw on.
I've been very lucky, actually, because my musical director, Conal Early, is one of my best friends, actually, but he... there's certain songs that I'd like to do that I wouldn't have a track for, Conal will do, because Conal is an amazing musician, so he plays piano, he plays guitar, plays bass, so he puts everything together for me and sends me down a track. Look, God bless, modern technology, when a track can be just emailed in a few minutes, So basically, I hope, please God, I'm not going to run out of tracks. Do you know what I mean? And if I do, then I'll just make some more until we get to the other side of this, please God.
Indeed. Now, I've been speaking with your contemporaries, including Sean Keane. Sean was actually one of the last artists performing in London before the venues closed. Sean, Nathan Carter, another recent guest on our show, together with Brian Kennedy, Johnny Logan, Chloe Agnew, and yourself. You've topped the charts. You're currently number one, actually, with us on the charts with the single Stay at Home and Stay Alive. Now, amazingly, the vocals were recorded on your phones, and Peter Marr worked some magic in the studio in Tipperary.
That's true. When Nathan asked me to do it, when did he ask me to do it? This must be 6 weeks ago, maybe, less. And I kind of thought, look, I can sing it. It was a video more than a recording. So I did it into the iPad, in my living room, and Brian Kennedy did it into his. Sean was the same, and they basically just cleaned it up in the studio, and it works, and it gets the message across as well. Like some people in the early days weren't heeding, the warnings, or weren't heeding the guidelines, and when you had to go to the supermarket, which we go twice a week, once every 2 weeks. And when you'd be going, there was people standing on the pavements talking to each other, right beside each other, no social distancing. So hopefully the message will get across. And yeah, it is. And the proceeds from the single are going to the NHS in the north of Ireland and the HSE, which is the sister of the health service here. So it's going basically to purchase PPE equipment and all that sort of stuff, which is great. And it's a good cause, and it keeps everybody out there,
Indeed. Now, Tommy, despite the present turmoil, there are positives. People have slowed down and are thinking of others and possibly being reflective. Now, you, the youngest of six born to Anne and Paddy, there was no doubting your early talent and musical ambitions before the big break with Phil Coulter led to recording success and international popularity. But you're no stranger to setbacks yourself, surviving a broken neck, as we spoke about before, in a road accident, also tragically losing both your parents in the space of just one day. Now, having gone through life-changing experiences, do you think we may emerge from the global crisis with possibly a different mindset?
I would hope so. I'm not one to kind of... I don't dwell on things too long. I find it very unhealthy to do that. And I'm very lucky in the sense that I would be strong mentally, in that I'm very much my father's son, in that I never look at the glass like it's half empty. It's always half full to me. And look at lots of people have faced adversity and come out the other side. It depends on your mindset. But to answer your question, I do hope people will come out of this with a very different mindset, with a kinder mindset, with a more the ability to share, the ability to be nicer, all of those things that you want to see in people. But it never. Look, I hope we do. I really do. I hope we come out of this learning the lesson that life is too short.
Indeed.
And that we have to we have to restructure our priorities, in my opinion. And we've obviously prioritise family, prioritise friends and loved ones, and put that above work. And I'm guilty sometimes of putting work before that. I think my ambitions have always kind of gone that way with work. But I look at it in a very different light now. And as long as you're healthy and your family and your friends are healthy, that's the priority.
Indeed. Now, there's multiple instances of people pulling together in our communities. Now, you're a people person, enjoying meeting those who come out to your concerts, yet you also recognise it's not possible for everyone to make it along to the live appearances. Performances such as those in Knockshrine and Galway Cathedral have been recorded and filmed.
Yeah, when I did Voice of Hope, which was, it's hard to believe that's 16 years ago. When we did it in Knock Basilica, and I suppose it kind of touched people in a different way. In that, I'm not a religious person at all. I'd be very spiritual, but I'm not at all religious. So it's something that kind of that people warmed to and that gravitated towards. So doing those recordings are very special to me, and I think. The kind of one I haven't done too many over the last years, but the one I did in Galway was a very special one to me. It was very important, and it was very just very real,
Indeed. Now, details can be found on Tommy's official website, together with his profile and other interesting information. It's www.tommyfleming.net. Tommy, hopefully you're using your time to unwind, but I'm sure the creative juices will be flowing. Are you writing or staying in touch with any of those that you've collaborated with?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, what I'm working on at the moment, which is I've been threatening to do this for a long time, is there's a play called Kings of the Kilburn High Road, which was written by a friend of mine called Jimmy Murphy.
Yes.
And Jimmy and I were out for something to eat a good few months ago, maybe a year ago actually, and we put down a few ideas about doing, working on a play together, and then we came up with the idea of putting music to the play. So I'm sure you've heard of that play.
Yes, I have.
It's set in Kilburn, obviously, in the early 2000s, among 5 friends in an Irish centre, and it's very sad. It's very funny. It's very real. So we decided, when I worked on Paddy before, which was a musical kind of drama, we decided to put music to Kings of the Kilburn High Road. And that's what I'm working on at the moment. I'm writing the music for that.
Fabulous. Now, people are reviving hobbies and discovering new interests. When we've spoken before, you've said you count yourself fortunate to live in a beautiful place where you can enjoy a walk, and of course you can have a creative flair to keep you stimulated. Now, one of your trademarks is to take a song and put your own interpretation on it, as with, for example, The Old Triangle and many others.
Yeah, it's funny, I don't kind of stress about doing that deliberately. It's just, I have my own way of doing it. So when I was doing the Old Triangle, when we did the original Old Triangle, it was very slow and very, to me it was monotonous. So Connell and I sat down and we kind of came up with a really good live version of it. And it's fun to do, but yeah, I kind of know when I put my own stamp on something, because I would never imitate somebody else or imitate somebody's voice, or I kind of I have my own way of doing it, and I kind of put my own stamp on it. I've always done that from the very beginning. Even when I was a teenager in a rock band called The Face of February, and we were doing songs like Sweet Child of Mine, Born in the USA. And I would change them all around when I was in that band, so much to the dismay of my other band members. It's kind of, I suppose it's just a thing I do, yeah.
Right. Well, as mentioned earlier, Tommy is showing solidarity with followers, saying he's well aware of the tough observing restrictions. Now, for heartwarming entertainment, you can tune in to Tommy's Jeep songs, as you mentioned there, by searching on YouTube, Facebook, or indeed Instagram. Now, many such as the Contender, Song for Ireland, and iconic songs from the shows are uplifting. Tommy, if we all stay safe, and the time will come, please God, when you're on the road again. Now, provisionally, you're scheduled for dates on the 2nd of September in the Keys Theatre in Salford and the Glasgow Royal Concert Hall, a lovely venue, I must say, on the 3rd of September. We're delighted to welcome you back to have another little chat then, and we can talk about those. Tommy, it's been great catching up with you.
Thank you very much for having me, Jerry. It's always a pleasure to talk. And please God, we'll be back doing concerts soon enough. However we're going to do it, with social distancing or anything else. And please God, we're going to have a vaccine that'll help the world get back to some normality again.
Indeed. Tommy, lovely to speak with you. And going to play this one of the classic favourites from your good self. Huge success for you. Hard Times, Tommy, thank you very much.
Let us pause in life's pleasures and count its many tears, while we all sip sorrow with the poor. There's a song that will linger forever in our ears. Oh, hard times come again no more. There's a song that sighs of the weary. Hard times come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard times come again no more. While we seek mirth and beauty and music bright and gay, their frail forms fading at the door. Though their voices are silent, their pleading looks will say, oh, hard times come again no more. There's a song that sighs of the weary. come again no more. Toils her life away with a warm heart. Her better days are o'er, and though her voice may be merry, she's sighing all the day. Oh, hard times come again no more. There's a song that's